Oh, yes, and welcome on into a Wednesday, February 1st edition of Philly Voice Sports Bets. I am Harry Mays at Harry Mays TU. He is Matt Cherico at Matt Cherico with a 0. And he is, of course, Eytan Shander, the one and the only at Shander Show. And we got a lot to get to. I got a lot of college basketball. I might even dabble in a little NBA parlay tonight. I don't know if you have any hockey, but I understand Eytan has got some additional football stuff here about a week and a half prior to the Super Bowl. And this is on the day when Tom Brady has officially retired.
I guess we should talk about that, right? I mean, my God.
I mean, couldn't he let Sean Payton have a day? You know, Sean Payton gets hired yesterday by the Denver Broncos. Everybody's scratching their head at this move by Denver because they gave up a couple of high draft picks for him. They've got an old quarterback. Like, what are you doing? Can't we just have a day to discuss this before the GOAT decides to steal the thunder?
I mean, honestly, if you look at this past year for both New England and for Tampa Bay, minus Bruce Arians and with whatever the hell Matt Patricia wants to be up there, I have more respect for what Bill Belichick and Bruce Arians did for Tom Brady's career than the opposite. Like this year, you throw, look, he had career attempts in throwing it. Yeah, because the game has changed 3 times over since when Brady has entered the NFL. So I'm not when you're down, you throw. Like, we get all that. The Bucs were awful this year. Todd Bowles, I know he's a local tie and all, but Todd Bowles is not a head coach.
No.
Bruce Arians was everything for that football team 2 years ago. Like Bill Belichick, guys, almost made the playoffs with Mac Jones and Matt Patricia. So get out of my life, Tom Brady. I love it.
Well, also, he's going to be now into the booth with Kevin Burkhardt, so we won't have to hear Greg Olson wax on, that guy needs to tighten it up. This Greg Olson. Yeah, I mean, he's got good knowledge. And it's not that I don't like him, but he needs to tighten it up. He's a little too much. He needs an economy of words.
Interesting. I didn't realize that Greg Olson was lacking it wouldn't be a dictionary, right?
No.
It would be a book of homonyms, right? Or synonyms.
He's verbose.
Thesaurus. Yes. Get him at thesaurus, will you?
Well, let's start with football because I understand you've got a different angle on this big game.
I just added stuff. That's
okay. Because I told you I'm on a teaser thus far.
Right. Well, you ran the same game parlay, right? With the total and the side.
Correct.
I'm not touching any of that. I just looked at. I wanted to get in before a couple of these I thought would become popular, and I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. But I've got 4 prop bets that I bet. All right. So you want
how many?
4. All right. I don't. Have you? First off, like Matt, Harry, Matt, have you guys done anything other than what we talked about Monday?
Or no, not on the football game. You're alone.
I'm looking at the funky props. I'm trying to find something, maybe on a Gatorade color.
Don't jump in and say something yet. All right. If you locked it in, then let me know.
Not yet.
Okay. Is this a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander point scored versus the Kansas City Chiefs point scored or something?
Although I might look at like John Rahm birdies versus kicking points or something like that at the Waste Management. No. All right. So Matt, this is what I was saying because let's talk it through is my point because I think that I have at least one that you were eyeing just now. All right.
Okay.
So I'll go in order. First bet I made was Philadelphia to make the first challenge. The reason and only reason why I made this bet is because Philadelphia is plus 110 versus Kansas City, which was minus 120. I don't know what data or metrics or anything like that is, but this appeared to be a 50-50. And if I'm getting more odds, it's the same thing as a coin toss. If I'm giving you a 55 return on a 50-50, you'll take it. Right. So Nick Sirianni's aggressive. Nick Sirianni will challenge his own mother's statement, right?
Yes.
Like he'll challenge anything. So
he'll win a lot of them too.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good record. So
Andy Reid's not good at a challenge. He's never been very good with the challenge.
Wow, and I'm actually seeing that prop is minus 106. Elsewhere. So plus money for that, I definitely think is a great opportunity.
I got a plus 110 on DraftKings.
Nice.
There you go. I like that.
So that's maybe it's dipped or maybe that, DK was the best price. But yeah, Harry, you're right too, where if you look at Andy Reid, I know he's been gone for a little bit, but he couldn't manage or challenge or anything when he was here. I don't know if that. Remember, he had that huge loss to Andrew Luck and the Colts, right?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. I'm on that.
He's very encumbered with the play sheet, with the menu.
Right.
Right. That's all he needs to worry about.
Now, I bet a full unit on that. Nothing else was a full unit, but I put a full unit on that for me. Second play, and I know this is going to get popular once people figure out what it is. It's the same thing every year, but you guys know what an octopus is, correct? In the NFL?
I do not.
Okay, so I think
I just
Nick
found out.
Goldich actually is the one from SI who we should credit naming this, but and Matt knows, it's essentially, Harry, if you bet an octopus, you're betting on the same person to score a touchdown, scoring the following 2-point conversion.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Now, immediately, who goes off here? We have Jalen Hurts. Like everybody else, I put $10 to win $140 on this, right?
Wow. Okay.
Everybody else is a bonus, but you would think like there are probably plays designed for Jalen Hurts, right? To score a touchdown and then immediately score a 2-point conversion.
Okay.
Miles, anybody on the ground?
I had said on Twitter, Kenneth Gainwell. I feel like this could be an opportunity for him to sneak in there, get an octopus. As somebody that's been taking kind of those under the radar runs, he's been doing very well from the backfield. And I think the key for the defense of Kansas City is going to be locking down Miles Sanders in terms of that run game. So I think we could see Boston Scott or Kenneth Gainwell. And honestly, it doesn't matter either one because we're just picking an octopus in general.
Correct. And that's a great point, which is, it could be freaking Lane Johnson, tackle eligible.
Oh, so you don't have to pick the player.
No.
You just have to say that it's going to happen with the same player.
That is correct, sir.
Gotcha. And the other one, the challenge, if neither team challenges, it's no bet.
Yes,
okay.
thank
all
you.
right.
Because
just to clarify that.
You're right. And I bet that in the Eagles-Giants game, it was an Eagles game where I bet that there wasn't a challenge and they will refund that.
Okay.
So it's the same thing. If you're using this in a parlay or whatever, you're going to have that leg voided. But I'm glad you brought that up, Harry, because that's exactly it. All right, I'll run through these here. That was the octopus. The third play. Look, I bet a half a unit to win a unit, right? So it's like plus, I don't know, whatever it is, $25 to win $52. 55. This is on DraftKings. FanDuel has it at 60 plus. I took a less payout at 55 plus, a 55 plus yard reception to happen in this game. Look,
and it doesn't matter who.
Doesn't matter who. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, hell, Dallas Goedert, Travis Kelce, MVS. You've got 5 guys that should jump out right away who have the ability to go deep downfield or to break a play deep. Because remember, Harry, it can be a quick slant, and as long as it goes 55 plus.
That's right. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, 55 in the air.
Nope.
Is he good enough to get the MVS?
Oh, you know what it is? All right, that's a great question. Matt, I don't know where you stand on this, but I think when you have guys whose names are either too difficult to pronounce or difficult to remember, they get shortened. So yeah, there are 2 caveats to having a nickname. Like people can call me ES because they don't know how to say my name.
Right, the first name.
Not because I'm deserving of a nickname.
Okay. Well, Kansas City has a lot of hyphenated names. They got the Smith Schuster,
imagine
Valdez-Scantling, and the Edwards-Alaire. Isn't he still on the roster?
Guy,
yes.
If you're the guy that made jerseys for the Chiefs, right, and you went from going Tyreek Hill, all you had to do was print out these Tyreek Hill jerseys.
Kelce.
And now all of a sudden they bring in Smith Schuster and Valdez-Scantling for you?
Right.
Oh, man. What a job.
Amazing.
What a job.
You need a lot of hyphens.
Yeah. It is a lot of hyphens. You're right. No wonder why. Exactly. It's got to be a pain in the freaking ass there. But look, you never know. You're targeting one guy to go deep, and even if it's like the lone reception, couldn't you see that? Like Devontae Smith or Quez Watkins. Forgot about Quez.
Right.
Like one play up top to Quez right away for 56 yards, and that's the only grab he has. All right, last one I have for you. I love this. I put a free bet on it, right? 0 to win $2,000 because it's a huge payout at plus 2,000 or whatever it was at 50. It was a free bet at $50 to win 2,000. I think it's plus 4,000 is the odds that I saw. This is on FanDuel. And follow me here. Any offensive lineman to score a touchdown. I know Nick Sirianni is not going to run the same Phillies special that Doug Peterson ran. The balls and the chutzpah on that individual. Not even Sirianni would overshadow and cast what a statue was built on. But we all know Sirianni. He's not just going to do something conventional. He's got something cooking here.
Right.
Wouldn't it be something, Harry, Harry, if Nick Sirianni moved Jason Kelce to an eligible spot, brought in one of 3 guys on the team outside of Kelce who had collegiate experience snapping the football to get Jason a touchdown in a Super Bowl in which Travis Kelce was held scoreless?
Wow, he moves Sayamalu to center, brings in Andre Dillard to guard, and puts Kelce, kicks him out to an eligible receiver tight end.
That's the new
brilliant.
Special.
Brilliant.
Wow.
That's the new Philly
There's a vision.
Right, yes. And what's the statue? Is it Kelce in his mummer's outfit with the jersey on, spiking the football?
Or can we just, like, didn't he have a famous one where he's like pointing and he was at the parade? But yeah, it's got to be Kelce with the mummer's uniform on first and foremost.
Okay.
I feel even better about these now.
Yes.
I got another one for you I'm looking at. And this is the Super Bowl national anthem length of, this time.
So Chris Stapleton.
We got Chris Stapleton. Yeah. And now I'm thinking this is a guy down south. Obviously, he's a Kentucky native. I'm thinking he's going to want to lengthen this thing out. He's going to want to hit those notes. He's going to be belting them out, for the whole stadium in Arizona to hear. And right now, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. I'm taking the over for minus 105. I think this is going to go nearly 2:30, potentially even close to 3 minutes.
No, 3 minutes. What's he going to do? A guitar solo in there?
Listen, these guys like to drag it out, and I'm not saying it could be total 3, but it wouldn't surprise me to see 2:35 to 2:40 in there.
Okay, isn't 2:03 the standard number that they give out for these national anthems? I want to say that's 2:01 or 2:03 is pretty standard.
I think so.
Now, remember, they practice this.
Right.
And a lot of stuff gets leaked.
Yep.
So you really have, has nobody leaked any practice? And then again, to Matt's point, maybe there is something that they don't practice publicly and they break out somebody random pops. Well, I guess Chris Stapleton is doing it himself, right?
I think it's just him. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he's getting the wrap it up music in his ear, and he's like, "Screw this, man! I'm not going to be out here again.
Right.
Let me give it a little twang, now,
Yeah,
right?
Like a little southern
country. That puts it up over the total right there.
He goes into an acoustic little Jimi Hendrix lick on the Star Spangled Banner from way back at Woodstock.
Yes.
Yes. I love it.
Oh my goodness, man.
All right. Anything else on the football?
No.
Okay.
Football, no.
Okay. Do you want to move to college basketball?
Let's. All right. Do you have something in the NBA? Because I do, and I know Matt does.
Okay, I do.
So why don't we hit the NBA first, then just wrap up anything that we may have on the way out? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because we're all 3 dialed in here to the league.
I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder, so I will not start.
You're hosting the show, Harry.
Well, let's let Matt start, because I have a feeling he might be invested in 1 or 2 of these games.
I absolutely am. And last night, unfortunately, I did not get to be a part. I don't know if you guys have seen on Twitter, but this morning, Twitter's been going nuts about the triple-double bomb that apparently everybody across NBA betting had hit last night. Yeah. Jokic, LeBron, LaMelo Ball, apparently a $10 bet a $50 bet would have won you 37 grand, and multiple people apparently hit this line. So
wow.
I'm pretty upset that I didn't get in on that one, but
so they all had triple doubles, and that was the bet. Wow.
Yeah. You could have just tailed my Jalen Brunson ladder. Bang! 30 points, baby.
I love that guy.
No,
me too. I watched an entire Knicks game last night because, yes, I was fully invested on Jalen Brunson, but I'm sorry, man. I'll watch that guy play basketball every single night. He's
got a little Iverson in him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. When did that happen, though? That
I
wasn't
don't know. No, I don't know, but I watched.
That came in Dallas. I want to say that came from him playing with Luca and somewhat grabbing some of his, little tips and tricks along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that shiftiness now
He is
that you see
tough.
in those Euro guys.
I
So
watched the late fourth quarter and the
Yeah.
overtime of that
Yeah.
game last night. I hate to do it to your boy Julius Randle, but my
Oh, boy.
goodness.
Oh, boy.
Man.
He had
Oh,
a couple of
jeez.
bad decisions.
yeah.
Like putting the ball up over his head.
Yes.
Fast break that got called for the travel. You remember. You know what, though? You bring up AI. And look, he's not Iverson.
No, I'm not saying
But
that.
he has this and that shiftiness that Matt spoke about. But the one thing that stands out is how wide.
He's thick. Yeah, he's
he
thick.
is a wide individual for
Yeah.
a guard like that.
Yeah.
I'm
By the
taking
way,
my
Brooks has
talents.
been shorting him left and right. We've hit him a couple of times.
This is actually a problem lately. I don't know if you saw Draymond Green as well. He actually called out refs on Instagram or bookkeepers because he said this is 2 games now in the past week in which he hasn't gotten credited for multiple steals and blocks in which he's had and they posted highlights of.
Wow.
So I don't know. It has something to do with sports books as well. So it's very, very relevant in the betting community. But tonight, I'm taking Damian Lillard over 44.5 PRA against the Grizzlies. Looking at Memphis, I think they're going to kind of focus in on him. But being that he's had such a great, past few weeks, especially from a scoring standpoint, I think he's just going to be raining in the buckets tonight. Going up against Ja Morant, I'm not looking at Ja as somebody that's going to take this to a defensive standpoint from his side. I think he's going to kind of want to battle fire with fire. So we could be getting a heavily, offensive, a heavy shooting night from both sides. So I'm going with Damian Lillard, and he's hit this line 7 of his last 10 games. And the guy is absolutely on fire, and he's been putting in buckets. And we see this a lot from Dame. It's just how long can he do this? How long can you carry this kind of scrubbish, Portland team to somewhat above mediocrity? But tonight, I think he gets it done against Memphis with a 44.5 PRA.
I like that, man. I went over in my video this AM for Odd Shop. I went over his points, 32.5, but I think those are heavily correlated. The one thing that I really liked, and I was trying to find a secondary scorer, right? Like somebody secondary shooter going up against a team that they should blow out, right? Like from 3, just looking at 3. Keegan Murray kind of jumped out. He's at -108 for over 2.5 made threes. They're in San Antonio. Nobody likes to go in and play a team like San Antonio, Houston, Detroit, Orlando at home. You kind of want to get in and get out. There's going to be so much attention always on Kevin Huerter as the 3-point shooter. Murray has been kind of volatile. He had that hot start, and then kind of people were fading him a little bit. I think this is a really good spot for him. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll put a full unit on him going over 2.5. I'll put a little half unit on him hitting 4 threes tonight.
Wow. You don't think any of those Sacramento Kings are going to want to go on the Riverwalk or check out the Alamo before they leave town? You think they're just getting in and getting out?
Maybe the Alamo. Is there a basement still in the Alamo?
I don't know, but it's very small. It's amazing when you walk up to it how small it is.
Is that right?
Because, oh yeah, absolutely. I was there with Schwartzman for a Final Four.
Oh,
we went over and checked out the Alamo, and I was blown away by what a small structure it is. All right, none of you guys took the SGA tonight at over 31.5, huh? At -120.
Yeah.
He's hit that 4 of his last 5 games, and the other game that he didn't hit it, he hit 31.
He is a bucket. I mean, I still have 2 more NBA plays. I wasn't going the SGA route.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I thought we were just going around the horn.
No, that's fine.
I do love SGA always. I'm always down to throw some dough on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm looking right now the Trae Young route going up against the Phoenix Suns tonight. I'm going with his points 25 plus, not taking the over 25.5 on FanDuel. Instead, I'm going to take that other route of just 25 plus. He's hit this 7 of his last 10, and going up against Chris Paul, who's actively getting shopped right now. I don't expect him to be playing much defense for the Suns. Also, this is a national holiday in Phoenix, Devin Booker reassessment day. Or reevaluation day, where he now for the 2nd or 3rd time is getting reevaluated to come back from his injury. So if he does come back, I think that's even more of a reason to put money on Trae Young, just because this is going to be even more of an offensive, shootout between these two teams. But ultimately, 25 does not seem like too much for Trae Young, and I'm going to take that tonight against Phoenix.
I like that. I like that. Now I took the Hawks to win outright because look, I like them, and +1.5 doesn't do anything for me. Does that I don't know if that correlates impact. Clearly, you don't need the Hawks. They can lose by 30 and your bet can still hit.
I like them to win, though.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so I was just curious if that factored in.
No, definitely.
Wow.
I think the Suns are very underwhelming this season, and I don't understand, honestly, why they're a favorite in this game.
But such a short favorite, too. Like, the books are taking no risk at all.
Yeah.
With the Hawks.
I kind of thought the same with Utah as a little bit of a short favorite at home against Toronto.
Against Toronto, yeah.
But I'm going to parlay them because Matt Cherico told me last week that two of the best NBA ATS covers are the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Utah Jazz. So I'm going to take Okie City -5.5, Utah -3, parlay that at plus 264 on DraftKings.
That's juice.
So, ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I like it. Anything else?
Any
like,
NBA?
Okay. Just in general, maybe.
Well, I got some college hoops. I'm pretty hot in college hoops right now. That Texas Tech game the other night was awesome. Went into overtime with the outright winner over Iowa State. I started watching it, and I've watched the first 10 minutes. I'm like, I actually bet this Texas Tech team. They stink. And they end up winning the game. Last night, I had Boston College, who was a short dog at home to Clemson, who leads the ACC, and BC an outright winner. So we're feeling pretty good. There is probably the ugliest game in college basketball this year is tonight. Georgia Tech at Louisville. Louisville, I don't know what the hell happened to that program, but they've won 2 games. Okay, both of them have been at home, by the way. The combined records of these two teams are 10 and 32. That says how bad it is. But I'm going to take Louisville +2 at home against Georgia Tech. That's one game.
Louisville's not like Louisville. They had that the other game too. We just took them where they were live because they were like a 10.5. They're a really good live bet. If you take them and they're down now, assuming that nobody's hurt and like their top 2 guys don't have 3 fouls at the half, like you have to look at this stuff.
Right.
But I'll tell you, Harry, to that point, and this has worked a couple of times with Louisville, they've gotten these bigs. Now, you said there are only 2 tonight because of the matchup, clearly.
Correct.
But if you maybe it works this way too, but keep an eye on Louisville live because they seem to be getting extra points when they're down big early in games.
Okay.
Like they went from a 10.5 point dog to like a 22.5 point dog, and they were only down like 16, 17 points in their last loss. So that's been a theme with Louisville to where if for whatever reason you want to double or triple down, or you find yourself like, maybe I need to live bet myself out of it.
Right.
That's a sneaky spot for the Cardinals this year.
Like it. Now, there's a game in the Big East that I like. Providence goes to Xavier tonight. Both teams 9-2 in the league. Both teams 17-5 overall. But Xavier is going to be without their second leading scorer and their leading rebounder tonight in Zach Fremantle. He will not play, according to what I saw earlier this morning. I'm going to take Providence +4. I love Ed Cooley. I love Providence. I love them on the road. I'm taking the 4 points tonight.
Nice.
All right.
Okay. I got one play in college that I'm taking. I'm taking UNC tonight on the spread, going up against Pittsburgh. Just because, I mean, this is just a good team beating up on a bad team to me. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be able to hang with these guys. And seeing the way that UNC blew out NC State, which is a way higher caliber team than this Pittsburgh team, I think we're going to get that same type of vibe tonight. As long as UNC can keep the pressure and not kind of let their foot off the gas, I don't see any reason why 8.5 shouldn't be covered against a team like
I was going to
Pittsburgh.
take the other side of that.
Yeah,
really?
I was, yes.
I
like Pittsburgh. They beat Miami in their last game. They've also beaten North Carolina earlier in December by 2 at Pittsburgh. Blake Henson and Greg Elliott are unbelievable 3-point shooters. I kind of like Pittsburgh.
Harry, they didn't cover that game.
The home game.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You're right. They got the win, but I think they were laying 2.5 and they won by 2.
Okay.
Something like that. It was a fucking nut kicker.
I'll stay away from it, but that game did pique my interest on the other side.
I'm going to buy back, but I'm going to buy back on the first half here. Nova was at 8.5 at one point. It's now dipped, I see, to 6.5. So I'm going to take Marquette in the first half here and look at that buyback. There's enough money has moved this Nova line. Clearly, I don't trust the full game, but I think you can get Marquette at last I checked, and I'm going to just double check here. It was 3.5. It's at 2.5 on FanDuel. So I'm going to lay 134 minus 2.5 for Marquette to win the first half. The only other college game that I liked, and take it for what it's worth here, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people are looking at this like, well, is there a discernible difference here? I think LaSalle is an outright winner tonight.
Wow, they're getting points at home, right? 1.5. Yeah,
they were getting 2 last I checked, but this line has moved a little bit. It's George Washington. I've bet GW a couple of times, and on the right side of them covering some spreads here. LaSalle, again, Harry, between these two teams, I get it that it's a road game for George Washington, but this should be a 3.5 point spread.
Right.
They have been playing a little bit better. They are better than LaSalle, and it 1.5 at one point where I saw it. I like them to win outright at home tonight. So I'll take LaSalle outright, and I'll take the Marquette squad first half.
Okay. Hopefully Stevie Mitchell, my Berks County brethren, can put in a couple of buckets for
go.
Marquette in that first half for you. All right,
By
golf.
the way, real quick, I know we're out of here before golf.
Yeah.
This worked last night for me, TCU. It's working a little bit. It's working a lot more in the NBA. But betting against line movement due to injury, right? Miles is out for TCU. And I think a lot of people jumped on the other side. Didn't matter, right? They still cover that 2.5, but that line dropped. In the NBA, it seems to be working.
Right.
I love that. Yeah.
Right.
Next man up type of thing. Like you don't have film on these guys. You don't know their tendencies and those types of things.
And it's one game, Matt, right?
Yep.
Like we're not asking the fifth guy off the bench for Presbyterian to hold this for 2 straight weeks.
Right.
I just need him to hold it for 12 minutes.
Then you might want to take the Xavier side on the opposite of me against Providence tonight with that theory.
I'm not going to go against you. You've been doing well so far recently. So I'm not going to go against you by any means. It jumped out. Now, Xavier, that's a big loss for them, though, for the X.
Yeah. I mean, he's second leading scorer, the leading rebounder. I'll take Mr. Cooley. PGA Tour is in Pebble Beach.
Yep. I got 5 plays for you before.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to go. I took an outright on Andrew Putnam at plus 3,000.
Not bad.
Finished 6th last year. He's finished, in the top 5 in the Sony most recently. Comes in pretty good form, good golf course form. Mav McNeely's a very popular pick. I realize
absolutely. That's not a bad thing in golf, Harry. You can explain that.
No, I know. I'm considering him.
Max Homa was a popular pick last
week.
week.
I'm considering him in my one and done between him and Matt Fitzpatrick. I got to make a decision on that. But his top 20 went from plus 140 down to plus 110 already. Did Mav McNeely? So that shows you how popular he is. Bo Hostler, top 20. Plus 260.
Yeah, okay. Bo is going to be similar to one of the maybe it was a different approach, different means to the same end as picking a guy like what I did. I'll save that because I'm curious to kind of go back and forth with my guy and Bo because I think there are some similarities, at least in match play, that you can draw to like the slow grind here at the Pro-Am. And look, you talked about it briefly on Monday. It's the Pro-Am. One of these guys, these poor sons of bitches, is going to be stuck with Larry the Cable Guy or Ray Romano. Oh, Ray Romano, right? Like they're going to be chatting and talking. It's a grind. It's 6 hours. Harry, you referenced this 3 courses, 54-hole cut. The greens are incredibly tight. So if you're a bad putter and you're lagging 50, or your approach shots are rough and you're lagging 55-foot putts, you probably won't need to do that here. You'll just miss the green entirely. All right, let's run this through. Joel Dahman, 40-1, top 20 plus 180. Damon, he withdrew last week. Really strong choice, I thought, at Torrey. Plays Torrey well. He's going to play Pebble Beach well. I think it matches up for him. He the putting and not necessarily needing to hit it 350 off the tee. But again, so long as he's healthy, I thought that he was a good pick last week. It didn't look like he was hurt, Harry, that he withdrew, right?
He finished 6th in this tournament last year, too.
Right.
So
but he wasn't hurt as far as his withdrawal from Torrey.
I don't believe so.
Right.
I don't believe so.
That's fine with me. I got him at top 20 plus 180. You got to go Hogue here, right? At plus 1800.
Defending champ. Yep.
He knows this format. He knows this course, these courses.
Playing with the same guy that he played with last year too.
Yeah.
So there's a familiarity with his amateur partner.
What I really love is I got top 20 at plus 105.
Okay.
On DK. So I figure if you're getting a guy who is as familiar with these courses and has the success here at plus money for a top 20, I'll take it. All right. Now it gets a little interesting. All right. Let me wind down these other ones. Seamus Power feels like he can play anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could put Seamus Power at Huntington Valley. I could put him at 1912.
Mm-hmm.
I could put him on the moon.
Yes.
Right. Like he can play golf pretty much anywhere.
Yep.
Top 20 for Seamus is plus 165. I'm not tempting any outrights, Harry and Matt. I'm just taking him top 20 at plus 165. Now, the last one. This is a reach. I get it's a reach.
Noxie?
No.
Oh.
I think he's become way too pop. My guy Raza has Knox, right?
Okay.
I think Russell Knox has become the long shot version of Maverick.
I got you.
My guy, normally, look, last year was an abomination. I get it. This is probably the only place, maybe, Harry, one of a few places on tour this year where I can say this. Being long off the tee doesn't matter at all.
Correct.
And being short off the tee won't kill you.
Won't kill you.
And if you have any sense of familiarity with the match play / pro-am where it's a grind and you can run through these 6-hour matches, it could help you. The Kiz.
I knew you were
Give me
going
the
there.
Kiz.
I knew it.
Hey, top 20 is plus 275. Come on,
I got
20
you.
bucks on it.
I hear you. No, I knew that's where you were going. Beautiful. All right. We'll be back on Friday, and good luck with everybody's wagers. Hopefully I'll have something else on this Super Bowl. It just seems so long to get there.
It, right? Don't force it.
I don't want to force it. Let's not force it. That's the advice until Friday.
All right.